You've probably had people tell you that you need to find what works with your channel. Well, you can actually do that with a channel audit, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do one of those today. You're actually gonna get to see my stream, so this is gonna be really fun. What's up, streamers? It's ashnichrist, and welcome back to my channel where I teach you to pursue your dreams and learn to stream. If that is something that you are trying to do and you really want to make Twitch or live streaming on any platform your thing, please hit that big red subscribe button down below for 4 videos a week that will help you out. Okay, so I've been back on Twitch for 3 days. 3 days. And what I'm going to do here is not only am I going to show you how to audit your channel, but I want to include you guys on my journey of streaming. And so what we're going to do with that is I'm going to tell you my wins and losses from time to time. I've only been back for a week. I might not do these videos weekly. I'm not really sure. We'll see whenever we get there. It just depends on what I think is going to be exciting and interesting for you all to learn about. But I'm going to do the audit, and then I'm going to tell you about my wins and my losses, my to-do list for this first week, and what is going to be on my to-do list for the next week so far. So this is my channel page. This is actually like my profile page. You can scroll down and read more about my profile and like what I'm doing on Twitch, but that's not really what this video is about, is it? So to do an audit on my channel, what I do is I go into the dashboard. The first thing that I do is I just go to channel. So this is gonna give me the summary basically of what I'm at for the last 28 days. So 55 average viewers, about 5,000 live views, 167 new followers, 76 subs, and $322 of revenue. Okay, and these numbers are a little bit skewed because these last 3 streams are the only days that I actually streamed. This day, I was doing a podcast interview on May 2nd, May 8th, 9th, and 20th. These were all podcast interviews for the Stream Coach podcast, which I'll leave a link for down below and probably a link up here. But these are still factored into my averages, and any time that I have any like big podcast episodes like this one on the 2nd, I don't take that into account whenever it comes to like partnership levels or any achievements or anything like that, because it's kind of inflated, right? It's artificial. So let's look at the 3 days that I actually did stream, and it was me and my new content. Now, May 23rd was the first day. It was a 5.5 hour stream with 71 average viewers. The reason this number was so high is because I got a couple of very large hosts whenever I first started streaming, of just friends that were welcoming me back to the space, which was so generous of them. But once again, that means that this average viewer count is inflated. Then we go to the 24th, where I didn't have those 2 massive hosts that came in, and we've got 42 average viewers, which for someone who is having their 2nd stream back on Twitch, who doesn't have consistent content yet, I was actually really proud of these numbers. And it was a 7-hour stream, which we went from 5.5 hour stream to 7-hour stream to 7.5 hour stream. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Then we go to the 25th, and my average was 54 viewers in a 7.5 hour stream. So honestly, I think that this is awesome. I didn't really have any major hosts on the 24th or the 25th. To see that kind of growth from 42 average up to 54 average in just a day was really massive. And it's hard to say if that growth would have continued had I streamed throughout the weekend, but it's really important to me that I don't push myself further than just streaming 3 days a week, especially initially. And to be honest, I completely wrecked my voice in those 3 days. I haven't really talked that much the past like 3 days since I've streamed, because it has just been super painful. So what these daily summaries have showed me is that what I'm doing is getting some attention. So I've had an increase in viewership from 42 to 54 for just one day, but I didn't get any huge hosts for either of those days, which means that I am growing my stream. Now, this is only for 3 days, so I can't make any huge assumptions as far as where the channel is going to be in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, but it looks like we're on a good path, which is very exciting. And I'm going to show you guys what the stream actually looks like in a second for those numbers as well. But on the rest of this page, what you can do is scroll down, and honestly, this is really good information, but it doesn't really factor into my own personal audit. Like, knowing where my revenue comes from is cool, knowing how many subs I have is awesome, knowing where my views came from is great. Like, that's actually a relatively useful section because it helps you determine what you want to really build your content based on. So like, if I'm getting most of my numbers from my followers, which is probably what most of you are doing, then you want to make sure that you are encouraging people to follow you. You can also see if you got a lot of views from specific hosts and what your external views came from, which is great. And then you can see like the top clip breakdown. How many times people watch something is just really, really awesome. But okay, my friends, what you really want to do is go over to this stream summary section. So let's go over to my first stream back. It was a 5.5 hour stream with 71 average viewers, 117 max viewers, 841 unique viewers, 187 unique chatters, 1162 live views, 49 new followers, and 8 new subs. So you can see the breakdown here where I got a relatively hot host, and it just kept my numbers up pretty good for the rest of the stream, which was awesome. Then you can see my path to partner. Basically what I need to do is just continue on the path that I'm on now, stream a little bit more, etc., etc. So these are the top clips and the view breakdowns again, but that stuff isn't really too useful for me aside from just being general information that I kind of learned about on the channel analytics page. So then we'll go to the second stream where I didn't really have any massive hosts, and it's really steady, right? Like we did really well. We had a 42 average, a 7-hour stream, 71 max viewers, and 527 unique viewers. We also pulled in a bunch of new followers, and we had a couple of pretty massive sub trains that I personally was not expecting. So we grew in 34 subscribers that day, which was just, you guys are crazy. I don't even know, like, well, I don't even, we'll talk about that on the actual stream. And then, you know, scrolling down, it's like that same information. So let's go over to the last day. Okay, this is whenever we unlocked an achievement of new day and new stream. So we streamed for 25 hours in the past 30 days. Whoop whoop. The stream was 7.5 hours with 54 average viewers, 76 max, 622 unique viewers, etc., etc. We had another couple of sub trains come in, so that was 26 new subscribers, 23 new followers, and all of this happened because we just were positive. We created a high energy, positive, helpful environment for everyone. I'll show you guys the content that we actually made in just a second, but we didn't really have a ton of massive hosts. I think looks like we got one probably around like 3:30 that was relatively big. It was probably like 15 people, 20 people maybe. And we did really well. We stayed very steady throughout the day. We grew from the day before. Like, this only shows that the channel is growing, which is very exciting. We're gonna get our own stream team soon, Yam Fam. It's gonna be incredible. The next thing that I wanted to show you is just how you can use your past broadcasts to figure out why those numbers happened. So I'm gonna make an entire video over this. I'm not gonna go too in depth here, but I do wanna show you guys something specific. So you saw that we went from 71 average to 42 average to 54 average. I want to show you something here that blows my mind, okay? Look at the quality of this stream.
Fork, we should go to yoga sometime. If we ever get to actually meet up in person, that would be awesome. I love yoga. That was the deal with
this stream is an absolute slideshow. Hang on, where is it?
Have, like,
here it is. Here we go. So you can tell the stream is just an absolute slideshow. Somehow, we still got relatively awesome, actually definitely awesome engagement, even though we didn't have high stream quality. So what does that tell me? That tells me that even though my video isn't working properly, people are really enjoying the things that I'm saying and what I'm talking about. So I really need to focus on maintaining that kind of energy and that kind of usefulness and engagement with the people that are watching me. So now what do I do with this information now that I've reviewed my week of broadcasts? I actually write it down into just like a little piece of paper, and it's nothing special. It really is not the greatest, most efficient way to do this, but what I like to do is I come up with my wins and my losses. So what were my wins for this past week? Well, the first one is that we went from 10 subs and streaming inconsistently to streaming consistently and 78 subs. We had a bunch of sub trains, a bunch of love and support in the chat. We had people spamming emotes, and we had these amazing conversations. And the most important thing for me is just really how much I connect with the people that I'm hanging out with. Like, why would I spend my time somewhere that I don't get excited about, that doesn't bring me energy, right? The next win for me is just that viewership. So that viewership was there even though the stream looked like a slideshow, which tells me that I'm doing a great job of keeping people engaged with the things that I'm saying. So I want to make sure that I continue doing that and improve on the quality of the broadcast so that people don't come into the stream, see that it's stuttering and very low quality and immediately run away, even though it might be a place that they really enjoy. My next win is the Yam Fam moment. So I'm going to take a second and actually play that clip. If you really want to grow, if growth is your main thing that you are focused on. So as you can see from the clip, my boyfriend came in and just put a sweet potato by my head, and everyone loved it. I don't know what it was about that moment, but we started calling ourselves the Yam Fam, and it was a name completely created by chat. It was such a beautiful moment once they all decided that that was who they were, that was their group identity, and they felt excited enough to open up with each other and to see to create one of the most beautiful things that I've ever seen in a Twitch chat, which was just chat and chat and chat and chat and chat of just vulnerability and people opening up and getting to know each other. And it was just such a beautiful space. People were talking about their experiences on the spectrum and in the LGBTQ community, and it was just absolutely amazing circumstance, I don't know, thing to happen. It was awesome and I loved it. My losses for the week though is definitely my voice. I don't know if you could tell on this video or the one before this, but my voice is absolutely destroyed. I spent a lot more time streaming than I expected. I went from 5.5 hours to 7 hours to 7.5. I thought I was going to be on for 2 or 3. And I really need to take better care of my voice and be careful, because if I want this to be something that I do for a long time, and I do, then I need to think about the longevity of that. So I'm going to be resting my voice and taking better care of it, drinking more tea with honey and all of that. Another loss that I had is that because I streamed for so long, I couldn't work my normal job, which means my paycheck this week is much smaller than it is supposed to be, which I know a lot of you out there like hustling, you have jobs that you're working as well as streaming. For your situation, you know, you're probably stuck in like a 9-to-5 or a traditional type of job. I'm very lucky in that I am a 1099 contract worker and I make my own schedule, and I can literally let my shifts go up to 45 minutes before the start time of the shift. So if I have a shift that night and my stream is just going really well, then I can just let the shift go and it's fine. The unfortunate side of that is that because it's so easy to do, it means that it is very easy for me to run over my time, to drop my shift, and to lose out on money, and the money pays the bills. So I have to be more respectful of that and be better at managing my time and getting myself off whenever I'm supposed to. But it makes me sad because I really enjoy streaming. And then my other loss is just the slideshow factor. So what I have done though is I made myself a little to-do list. That's the other section of this piece of paper. So from this past week, I knew something that I really wanted to accomplish was that I wanted to get a cable, okay? And I've actually got an Ethernet cable for my laptop. It is a 50-foot cable and I'm very happy. I did have to go through and like set up a bunch of stuff with it. I had to delete the drivers and like it was a mess, okay? It was a huge whole mess, but we eventually got there and now the internet is stable, so I won't be dropping as many frames, hopefully. I have to test that out tonight. The other thing was mods requested a couple of commands for the chat, so I have to make a hype and a shout out command and like a couple of other things. Also, I wanted to take better photos for the sponsors that I have, so my profile section looks a little bit more professional, like I put a little bit more effort into it. That is not something I'm going to be able to get to this week. It's not super high on my priority list, so I'm actually going to move that to next week. I also changed up a couple of graphics. I need to respond to a couple of sponsorship emails, and I'm setting up a tip goal for something that we all really wanted in the stream, so that's going to be coming to the stream this second week. And then next week is whenever I'll actually have better photos for sponsors, and I definitely want to grab a tripod so that I can use my amazing camera that I'm filming on right now with the cam link that I got from 𝐁𝐔𝐒𝐈𝐍𝐿𝐉. I'll leave a link for this down below, and yeah, I'll talk about it in another video. It's going to be an entire other video, but I definitely want to use that to get my stream higher quality once again, so we'll probably go up to like 720p and 60 frames per second. So there's a lot of stuff to look forward to, and I'm very excited. So to sum this all up, what do you need to know about auditing a channel? Well, first off, that it's very important. You need to make sure that the content that you're creating and the way that you are spending your time is resonating with people out there, because if you're streaming and it's just not working out and you're not seeing the growth that you want to see, then you need to know that the growth isn't there and why it isn't there, so that way you can change up what you're doing. And also, if you have a day where you've got higher numbers, it helps you realize that those numbers were higher, so you can check back through that stream and see what you did that was different from other days and how you can actually continue that trend of growth. The other reason a channel audit is really important is because it's motivating for you. There are a lot of people that are upset with their numbers, either their sub count or their follow count or how many people watch them when they're live. But whenever you look back through your broadcasts for the last week, you can see that growth. Even if it's very, very small, you can see some kind of growth there, and that will keep you motivated to keep going with your content. However, in my opinion, checking out the numbers on your channel isn't nearly as helpful as watching your past broadcasts. So I'm actually going to cover that in the video next week, which I am very excited for, in this little series where I'm taking you guys on a journey with me of my stream, my foray back into this little world of Twitch. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited to have you here with me. If you guys need a space where you can get to know other creators that are helping each other, that are just pushing each other and holding each other accountable, feel free to come hang out with us in our Discord. The link for that is down below. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that big red subscribe button for yeah mommy and click a video on the right to keep on watching. I will see you all in the next one. Bye! I love you so much!